Why, hello there, folks, and welcome back to Dicing with Death. Georg, you awake the next morning in the second story of the Storybrooke Inn in Shireburg.
Shirebrook.
In Shireburg.
Shireburg or Shirebrook? Shirebrook.
Shirebrook. Storybook Inn in Shirebrook. Whew.
Okay. It's book, not brook.
Storybook Inn.
No.
Like, like a book you would read stories from.
Yeah. I have to say I was a little bit disappointed in their common room.
Yeah,
Wasn't the
I've made the switch from all inns having taverns into them to having my inns and taverns separate.
interesting.
Yes.
So it's no longer just like a giant party where everyone drinks and sleeps and fucks under the same roof.
There may be such places, but I think most places are broken up into quiet inns where you can sleep if you need to, and rowdy taverns. You come downstairs in the morning to find Reptar still asleep, presumably in his room. Or not attendant, at least. No idea where he is. The innkeeper, as you come down, slides you a short sword across the table, as well as a bow and a quiver of arrows, all of which look to be Reptar's. You don't even remember him taking them from you yesterday.
What's this? Say looking down.
Policy, sir. No weapons allowed inside.
Do I still have my staff?
You do.
Oh,
He's not going to take a
very well.
old
Is
man's walking
Reptar still in his room?
Your slave? Yes, he has not come down yet. I can go get my boy to whip him out of bed if you'd like.
No, that won't be necessary. I do all my own whipping.
Oh, of course, of course. I got an earful from the night watchman about who you are, or your story. Quite the story, if I don't say so myself. What brings you here to our sleepy little town?
It's not those woods.
Well, I guess that makes a lot of sense. Any plans? Where are you headed from here?
I lean in close, conspiratorially. I say, I am seeking the airship of the Magi. Rumor has it that it is sometimes seen floating above these plains.
I've never seen it myself, but that's what people say. Rumors abound that there's a flying airship that all the wizards come to. I didn't really think it was real. Have you been there before?
No,
How can you be sure it exists?
I can't.
He seems a little disappointed.
You are correct to have such doubt. It seems like quite a preposterous proposition. But wizards have proposed and achieved stranger things in the history of this world.
He nods.
Well, so there haven't been any sightings that you're aware of.
No, not that I'm aware of.
Thank you.
Did you just get a scarf?
I did. I don't think it's mine though.
I could use a scarf right about now.
I get to try it on, but I think it's a Christmas present for someone else.
Ah. Fashionable.
That's how they're wearing them these days.
You're almost as fashionable as Lauren, who today wore my sweater, backwards when she went to work. Didn't notice until someone complimented her on it, and then went, checked it out, and decided she liked it on backwards better, and left it on backwards for the rest of the day.
Interesting.
I know.
Well then. All right, so the innkeeper doesn't sound like he knows anything about this airship.
He does not. He makes a more small talk with you.
Yeah, I think we'll stick around until we're fully healed.
Okay. When you bring that up to him, he says, "Oh, well then perhaps we'll be wanting a longer stay. I hope your room was comfortable."
Was it comfortable?
You were too unconscious to notice. You're at 1 HP.
Yeah. Um.
How long do you think you'll be staying in Shirebrook?
Um. Until we're back up to tip-top shape, so probably a week. I shrug.
Nods. Okay. Well, a week for 2 rooms each. That's 14 days. I'll be taking. I take it you'll want some food with that.
I'm nod.
Well, we can
Let's,
give you
let's
a long-term discount. How about that? All total, that comes to 52 silver. You've already overpaid on your current tab, so we'll call it an even 47.
47. So I hand him 5 gold. We get
Okay.
3 silver back.
Yeah, he gives you your 3 silver back.
Okay.
And then he just withdraws the weapons that he had slid across the table to you and says, "If you need these, we keep them down here by the front door. Happy to
Nod.
give them back to you whenever you want, but please, no weapons in here.
I know.
Oh, and
Can,
no summoning demons in here either.
oh, I don't summon demons. Don't
Good,
worry.
good. We have a strict no demon policy.
With good reason, I
Yes.
imagine. Can you point me to that doctor that visited last night?
Yes. Yes. He gives you directions. It's up the main road out of town, and then you veer off once you get to this road, and you take a left, and it's down here. It's, you know, it's in this location.
I've been in chat says in before Ryan completes all the hardcore heroes quests for them. All right. So I head north out of town, and then head to the doctor's
Sure.
hut or whatever.
Yeah, not a problem. You get down to it. The doctor's hut is. What is that? Actually, as you on your way towards the doctor's hut, you pass what seems to be a magic shop of sorts. You see
Doctor
like
can
dream
wait.
catchers and fine quarterstaves leaning in a small window, and peering in for a moment, you can see all manner of strange components and a very large woman standing behind a counter in brown robes.
I think I stumble in, forgetting that I was going to speak to the doctor.
Okay. As you go in, a little bell bring, ring, to let the innkeeper, the storekeeper, know that you're there, and she looks up from behind her books.
By the way, I'll have memorized enlarge, reduce, color spray, and the comprehend languages. Although now that I'm walking into a magic shop, I'm wondering if detect magic would be the way to go. You know what I could do is I could get conjure spell components and sit outside the wizard shop and summon spell components from the wizard shop and then try and sell them back to her
for less
9
than a
silver
GP a day.
I guess so. That would be bare subsistence living, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it'd be pretty bad.
Choking on my own spit.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
It's all right. This woman is pretty massive. She's like 6'8" and must be well over 200 pounds. But it doesn't look flabby at all. She looks to be in fairly good shape. That said, she is covered with various like pock marks and scars all over her. It looks like she's been stricken by some sort of illness before, and her face is pretty badly distorted. Her hand, as she flips a page in her book, has various scars, and her fingers look a little bit knobby or hobbled.
Huh.
Does
she look human?
But she is human. She's quite tall.
I met a half ogre at wizard school.
Yes, does not look like a half ogre. This just looks like a big buff woman.
Interesting.
She looks at you and coughs a little bit and says, "Well, you look just like the sort of traveling wizard I cater to. Well, what can I do for you?"
Uh, I don't know. I saw your shop from the street. I didn't even. It's been so long since I didn't know they had stores like this in this land, and I don't know. I'm
Oh, well, I
eyeing the
carry this and
curiosity.
that, and
Actually, I should check if I need spell components for my new spells.
there's always someone needing something. Don't have many wizards here in town, but plenty of cleric needs components for their spells, and some of the charlatans like to buy strange ingredients just to add to their snake oil. And the occasional person needs the strange item.
Hmm.
Uh,
Well, I guess I'm looking for a pinch of soot and a few grains of salt. But other than that, I'm mostly intrigued by the curiosity.
well, I can get that for you. Not a problem. Not a problem at all. She says as she looks up her spell component costs in the handy table that they provided for you in the Spells and Magic book.
Yes.
Soot, right?
Yeah.
Um, for the soot, she actually just goes over to the hearth and just pulls you out some soot. Doesn't even charge you for it.
And pinches of salt.
Salt. Hmm. Salt. 2 copper per casting that you need.
2. Let's see.
Why did the town music
gonna-
never start playing? What the fuck?
I don't know. All right, so I'll give her 2
Hit the play
silver
button.
and get 10 castings
Mm-hmm.
of salt, or 10 doses of salt and soot.
Okay. Are we tracking the number of pouches you have? Is that not something we're doing? I don't remember.
I am not tracking pouches. Would you like me to? I'm tracking spell
No.
components, but like,
No, we don't have to track pouches. I thought I remember telling someone somewhere sometime that we were going to track their pouches, but that could have been a plan I had for the future instead of a plan that I've already executed.
and I think I want more colored sand. That shit was expensive, if I recall.
I seem to recall the same. Hmm. 1 gold per colored sand.
Per casting of color spray,
Yes.
or is that per color?
It just says sand colored.
Okay.
I'm gonna say it's 1 gold per casting of colored sand. I don't think it would be
Alright.
3 gold per casting.
All right, I'll buy 2 doses of that. And
Excellent.
what else? I mean, is this basically just a spell component shop, or?
Yeah,
She's selling
a lot of spell
magic
components.
items,
You do notice that there is a
catchers.
small stack of books behind the counter. And as you eye them with curiosity, she says, "I have many sorts of books around here. Many research books and a few spell books. I happen to be somewhat of an instructor myself." She has a big coughing fit and pulls out a handkerchief, and when she pulls it away from her mouth, you notice there's a little flecks of blood on her handkerchief.
Are you okay, ma'am?
Oh, I'm just fine. I was stricken with yeah. My lungs and heart are not what they used to be.
I nod solemnly.
Seems to be why I've settled down now. Anyway.
Well then, you were saying about your book collection.
Yes, yes. I'm a bit of a teacher. I have a few apprentices here. I have a few spells if you're interested in buying a look at them as well.
Out of curiosity, what do you charge?
Oh, God. Um, hmm. I want to say it's 100 GP per spell level.
Yikes.
That seems like a very reasonable price that a wizard would charge you.
Maybe. I'm trying to remember. What does it cost to research, though? I guess for that you need a fully stocked whatever, but
Yeah.
fully stocked library. Library.
Um, I don't know what the research cost is. That's a good call. Because researching should be cheaper. No, should be more expensive than buying a spell.
It's even study with a mentor. There is a section in the DMG on this stuff.
Is there? Is it under magic? So it wasn't under NPCs.
Chapter 7 Magic. Gaining levels, just copying spells from spell books.
It costs 100 to 1,000 GP per spell level to research a spell.
1,000 GP per spell
100 to 1,000. D10 times
Okay.
100 GP per spell level. So you can buy spells or buy a look at spells for 100 GP.
Christ.
And she will even sell you a couple of. She's got a few blank spell books, and she has a few extra spell books of hers that she's transcribed. If you would like to buy the whole book, which she can give you for a
I
slight
have
discount.
like 20 GP.
Yeah.
Need to come back later. It's interesting to know. Okay. Any other curiosities in the shop?
Yeah, there's all sorts of little weird things. You see some like mummified animals that are like sitting in formaldehyde or something. But they're just curiosities, nothing that strikes you as something you need right now. Anyway, anything else?
I think we're good.
Okay.
Can't afford this shit. So I'm gonna head to the doctor.
All right. You get to the doctor's house just a little bit later. He's past a temple. And, yeah, you knock on the door. The doctor comes. Oh, good to see you again. You seem much better. Georg, was
nod.
it?
Yes, yes.
Yes, excellent. Thank you for your patronage.
I nod.
Thank you for getting stabbed, I guess.
Let's hope it doesn't happen again. Myself and Reptar will be staying at the storybook for the remainder of the week. I wanted to check and see if you could maybe stop in once more to check on Reptar's wounds. Make sure they heal
Yes.
properly and quickly.
He should be fine, but I can take another look at him later today. Just tell him not to get out of bed.
I nod.
I'll swing by in the afternoon. Usually takes 24 hours for my poultices to take their effect, and I want to make sure that they've been fully effective before I make any adjustments to my...
I nod. All right. Okay. After that, I should get some food. I'm gonna go buy some rations. Do you know how much rations cost? Should I look that up?
It's 5 gold per week for iron and 3 gold per week for standard.
Okay.
Okay.
So by a week. Well, I'm gonna pay now, but I'll probably buy them as we're leaving town.
Sure. While you're taking a look at the general store and poking your head around town, the sheriff of town walks up to you. You can tell because he's got a nice big bronze star hanging on his shoulder, on his lapel, really. And he comes right up to you, no kind of
Am I in, like, the
skulking
general
about,
store?
and says, "Hey there, you must be Georg. I'm sheriff of this town, Sheriff Tyrus."
I see my reputation precedes me. I
Yes.
extend a hand.
He extends a hand to shake yours as well. Give me a perception check, please.
I think by now I'm wearing my robe once again.
Okay.
Assuming it dried last night.
Yeah.
I would not be wearing the nightgown anymore. D20 plus 12. 24.
You immediately notice as he goes to shake your hand that he's carrying a longsword at his side, a buckler kind of over his shoulder, and his longsword is pretty fucking cool. It has like a child's fist-sized pearl as a pommel, and it looks like there's some sort of large white scales wrapping around the handle. The crossguard appears to be made out of ivory.
Yeah. Georg is not a subtle man, so I think it's quite obvious that his blade catches my eye.
Yes.
Go wide and I look at it.
He gives you a smile and taps it a little bit.
A magnificent blade. Well, magnificent hilt. I correct myself.
Oh, blade's just as fine.
I hope I never have to see the blade. And I give him a wink.
He smiles. That's actually why I'm here to talk to you. Wanted to make sure that everything was okay. Strange wizards coming into town late at night covered in wounds. With my history of running things around here, well, I know that usually brings bad news. I just wanted to make sure that we shouldn't
Rest
be
assured,
expecting any
I am
trouble.
the second strangest wizard in this town. I've already met Lady Bertha, whatever her name was.
Rohana. Rohana the Diviner.
Yes.
Yes. Well,
No, I don't imagine we'll probably be here for a week or so while our wounds recover, but
and just to be quite clear here, there's no one following you, no one chasing you. You haven't pissed off a swamp monster or a neighboring lord. There's not a band of goblins that you've offended.
I think on this for a second. I don't think so. Certainly not to the point where they would be chasing us out of the Shadow Mountains. In fact, I don't think those goblins could make the climb.
Met goblins on the other side of the Shadow Mountains and then crossed them and came here. That's the story that I heard this morning. I thought it was a little too fanciful to be true.
Now, it's the lizard men in your own backyard you got to be worried about. Nasty buggers. I sort of gesture south across the river.
You didn't happen to kill a lizard man chieftain or capture one of their children, did you? You didn't break their eggs?
We almost got the chieftain, but no. They fled after we exchanged blows.
Okay. Good talk, good talk.
Would that be a no-no? Killing a chieftain?
Well, it just puts you on their radar, and if they follow you, that puts us on their radar, and it's my job to keep the peace around here, and I like to see that it stays nice and peaceful. I grow tired of shedding blood. But it sounds like you're on the up and up, so good for you. Good man. If you need anything, the jail cell, or the jailhouse where I keep my work from is just up the hill a little bit, behind the market square. Between districts.
I nod. I say, well, it was a pleasure to meet you, Tyrus.
Yes.
So you are the sheriff.
I am the sheriff. You have any questions?
Is there a local liege lord?
Yes. Baroness Valmont. She and her husband David live up there, he says, pointing towards the keep on the hill. And the rest of us live down here. They're a decent enough folk.
I nod. Well,
Um,
I don't think I will be visiting your jail anytime soon, but it's good to know we are in such capable hands.
I figure you might also want to know about the other wizard in town. It's not just Rohana. There's Aldrich as well. He's
Aldrich.
yes, the Baroness's personal wizard, court wizard, really. He has a laboratory and observatory up on the keep. He doesn't really like to
Observatory.
meet with people very much. He's kind of a not necessarily the most pleasant of fellow. Maybe his ears have gotten to him or something, but
So does that make me the third strangest wizard in town?
no, I think you're the second strangest.
Damn.
Aldrich's old and crotchety is maybe the way to put it, but he's not quite strange.
I nod. Would it be rude to call on this Aldrich?
No, but he might decide to be rude and decline your invitation. But you can always try.
I nod.
Aldrich the Conjurer, they tell him. They call him.
I'm a
And
bit
you
of
would
an-
be Georg the...
the Great.
Georg the Great Alterer? Transmuter? Enchanter?
Oh. You're quite educated. I am a dimensionalist. I think about these things differently than most wizards you may have met, but
You might be the first dimensionalist I've ever met.
I might be the first dimensionalist that any of us have ever met. I don't know, did I have a dimensionalist teacher, or is this like a school of my own design?
That's your call to make. Did you choose your own major? Who knows?
I don't know. Well, anyways, I'm a bit of an amateur astronomer myself. Maybe interesting to...
Oh, well, that
Speak
might
of this
work out
Aldrich.
well then. Give him a. You can send a messenger up the hill. That's probably best use of your time. Guards at the gate can be a little bit slow to react.
I nod.
Well, just wanted to make sure that everything was on the up and up. It's nice meeting you. He extends a hand.
Shake his hand
and
again.
He leaves the shop.
General store. Yeah. I probably don't buy the rations. No, well, rations will keep for weeks, right?
Are you getting iron or standard?
I was gonna get standard. How long
Standard
does it
rations
last?
will keep for a week, so you'll want to wait off on.
Okay. All right. I subtracted the money, but I'll pick them up as we head out of town. And
Sure.
I guess I'll get the money back if shit hits the fan. And...
Yeah, we'll just have to remember that.
Okay.
So you've got. What do you want to do
Yeah,
now?
I'm gonna go find a messenger and send it up to this Aldrich guy. So see if I can find a kid.
Yeah, you can find a youth to deliver the
I'll
message.
probably go
for a
back to the
copper.
inn and ask the innkeeper where I could find a messenger boy.
He brings the stable boy around.
Yeah.
Common
I'm gonna
practice to
pull
give
out
him
a
a
piece-
copper or two to get the job done.
Yeah. I pull out a piece of parchment
Mm-hmm.
and fuck. I think I need to go buy a quill. Is a quill free? Can I? buy a
No,
quill.
it's not.
I have ink. I have
But if
parchment.
you're really nice to the innkeeper, he may let you borrow his quill.
I think I'm gonna go buy a. How much is a quill? I think a quill wasn't in the player's handbook. Maybe is why I didn't buy it.
Ah.
Let me double check.
Everybody, sorry about that. The stream decided to go down for a moment, but we're still here looking up prices for quills. Nothing's
Yeah, I think
changed.
the reason I didn't have one is because it's not in the book.
Sure. I think you can buy a quill for a silver. That sounds reasonable to me.
Well,
Yeah, I can't believe quill is not.
yeah, there's ink, but all right. So I'll stop by some shop, pick up a, or maybe at the general store.
Yeah, I mean, you'll probably want to pick it up at the magic store. Actually, general store may not have a quill.
Okay. So I scrawl out a note to this Aldrich on the parchment.
Mm-hmm. What does it say?
Dearest Aldrich, my name is Georg, a dimensionalist from Solemn across the sea. I have recently arrived in your great town, and as an amateur astronomer and wizard myself, I was intrigued to discover you have an observatory upon the hill. Would love to come visit and see your facilities. I will be in the storybook for the rest of the week. Hoping to hear from you. Yours truly, Georg. I roll it up. I tie it with something clever. Guess I don't have anything to tie it with. I fold it in an interesting way.
Okay.
Don't have origami, but
It's okay. You can find a way.
I can engineer some way to fold it up. I hand it to the messenger boy, give him a silver, and tell him
Ooh.
to bring it to Aldrich. Make sure that it gets its way to Aldrich
Okay.
on the hill.
All right. So why don't we just skip ahead a few days then?
Okay.
Um,
Is Reptar okay? Nothing.
the
was-
doctor does come back, tells him that he needs another full day of bed rest. Gives him another poultice.
I'll fork up a gold for that.
Yeah. And the doctor will, if you'd like to, the doctor can continue to oversee him, so he will heal at
I
a
most-
faster rate, but it'll be a
I mostly
gold a
want-
day.
Yeah, that's I wanted to do that at least for a few days to make sure that he heals by the end of the week. But I don't necessarily need to pay the doctor every day. So maybe have the doctor
Okay.
come in twice or something.
Sure. So if he's getting full bed rest, he can heal 2 HP per day. If he's getting full bed rest and a doctor, he'll heal 3 HP per day.
And how many was he down?
He was at, well, he was down almost all the way out of 21.
Yeah. Out of 21.
Yeah. Because he leveled, so that's his new max. He's currently at 7 out of 21.
Okay. So I guess I don't really need the doctor anymore. So I'll have paid him that 2 gold. If he's gaining 2 HP a day for a week, he'll be fine.
Yeah, one night's already passed, so
Mhm.
if you leave in a week, he'll be at 19 out of 21.
Well, but 2 of the days he would have gained 3 HP.
I have accounted for that. No, I
Okay.
haven't. The second day he gains an extra HP. You're right. Okay,
So he'll be at what, 20 out of 21?
he'll be
Is
at
that what
20
you're
out of
saying?
21. Yeah.
I'll fork up another gold to get that extra HP. Sure, whatever.
So by the end of the week, he'll be at 21 out of 21.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do I get any letter back from Aldrich at any point over the?
I
over the
can't do
week,
math.
or-
No, man. He's going to be at 11. No, you don't need to fork over the extra gold. My math is way off.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. Yes, 2 days later, you do get a letter back from Aldrich.
Mm-hmm.
It says simply, Georg, if you'd like to use my observatory, come by tonight when Falumbra is in the sky. Falumbra is also the moon. She is all the other gods are represented as constellations in the sky, or most of them are.
Uh-huh.
Falumbra takes the form of the moon herself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did they have an observatory back at my academy or wherever?
You had like spy glasses that you would use to gaze at the stars.
Okay. All right. So that night I will ascend the hill when Falumbra is in the sky.
Okay.
What age do wizards usually go to wizarding school?
You know, everyone gets called at their own time.
Okay. I was just sort of wondering, like, Georg is only 17. So
Think
I
of
was wondering if that
wizarding
means,
school kind
if
of
I-
like cooking school.
Okay.
You know, you could start taking your classes in your 50s, or you could start taking your classes when you're a kid. Yeah.
So I think I was probably quite young
Yeah.
and left quite young.
Or like dance classes.
Okay. Okay. I was thinking more along the lines of like university, but
No.
no.
Sure. So the the keep on the hill has 2 walls. There's the outer wall, which is just barely up the start of the hill. There's a natural kind of rise where you've got some rocks. Maybe the earth has been carved away, but like a 10-foot section of rock that is not quite sheer, but quite steep, on top of which there has been another 10-foot wall built, and there's a road that leads up to in a kind of a flattened out, smoothed out section of that, so it's not too steep. And then beyond that, by another, I don't know, how far is this?
Is there a map you're looking at that I'm not privy to?
It's not a published map. Yeah, it's not. It's in no condition to be published. It looks like shit. And I really mean it looks like shit. Like, it has sections of Isla Vista overlaid over at a 50% opacity so I can try and gauge the scale of things. It's a terrible map. Anyway, but then like another few hundred feet back from that is another raised section. This one about 15 feet tall, maybe 20 feet, but at again, not a perfectly steep grade, with another 10-foot wall around that. And then in the middle of that is the keep. So you come to the first gate, and there you find a knight and a couple of footmen standing about. Footmen on the walls and with crossbows, and a footman down by the gate with the knight.
I approach unless they say something to me.
No.
Producing the letter from Abather. What was the name? I take a look at the letter to remember his name.
Aldrich.
Aldrich.
Yes.
Aldrich.
The knight approaches you. It looks to be about a 40-year-old-ish man. He's wearing splint mail, has a shield, and a spear. And as you come to the gate, he looks through the portcullis and says, "Well, what's your business?"
Just a second. I want to jot down these names. Aldrich. Baroness. Council.
This wizard's name has not changed 4 times, guys, because I have this character planned out well in advance. Aldrich has stayed Aldrich the whole time. Get off my back, Evan.
What was her name? Rona? Rohana.
Rohana.
They didn't say her special. Oh, diviner.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I approached. He asked what my business was. I say, my name is Georg. I have an appointment with Aldrich, and I hand over the letter.
He opens it, moves to some torchlight to read it, rolls it back up, hands it to you, opens the gate very unceremoniously, and motions for you to enter, and says, "The footman here will escort you to the keep."
I thank you.
Shuts the door behind you, and one of the footmen leads you to the gate. You pass through a second gate. This one's already open, and doesn't look like there's any guards on this wall.
Mm-hmm.
And then you make it to the actual keep itself. It is a rather small keep, not too terribly big, but you notice there is a tower sticking out of the back corner of it, an extra 3-story tower tacked onto the 2-story keep. Well, I guess it's a 2-story tower then. It's a single-story room. I haven't figured out the exact details of the keep. But there's a tower tacked onto the back corner, which you are led through a passage of halls to get to. You're actually not brought in through the front door. You're brought in through a side door. Maybe it's a servant's entrance. You're not quite sure. But you're definitely not traipsing through the main halls. You go through a couple of side hallways and more off-the-beaten-path routes until you come to a corner tower door. It's kind of like you've got the rounded section of the tower coming down, and there's a big fat door in the middle of it.
So are we an inside hallway?
Yes, you are inside the keep. The footman knocks on the door fairly heavily and says, "It might be a few minutes." He's often quite slow to answer the door.
That is fine. I thank you for taking the time to show me the way.
He grunts and waits with you. After much knocking and another 20 minutes of waiting, eventually Aldrich comes down and opens the door for you guys. He pays the footman no heed and ushers you in, shutting the door in the footman's face.
You must be Aldrich, the conjurer.
I
Or
am, and you would be Georg.
Georg. Yes, I am a visiting wizard from across the sea.
Yes, I see. See, I have many questions for you, Georg. First, come with me to the tower and tell me if the stars you see are the same that you see back home.
Excitedly, I was wondering the same thing when I first landed upon these shores. I
Yes.
climbed to the tops of the Shadow Mountains to get a closer look, but I imagine with your equipment we can study them even closer. My initial impressions are that the stars are the same, the constellations are the same. Curiously enough, they're in the same places.
Most curious indeed. And
Yes.
he proceeds to talk stars with you about
Yeah.
the upper and the
Geometry
lower
doesn't.
gods and which ones, can you see the lower ones from your position? Because we can't see them here, but we know they exist from rumors and stories and yada yada yada.
And does he? It seems like we've come to the same conclusion I did before. That the sky is
Yes,
the same, even
yes.
though we've traveled thousands. I've traveled thousands of miles. The constellations are the same.
He seems to. This seems not to phase him. It confirms what he had already believed beforehand. And
Yeah.
the two of you, well, give me a charisma check.
Charisma. Uh-oh.
What's your charisma score?
11. That's fine. But I was hoping I would get an astronomy check or something.
No, no. He rolls a 26 on his charisma check. You roll a 23. The two of you hit it off.
We we flirt. It's magical.
There's not much flirting going on, but there is definitely chatting.
Scientific flirting.
Yes. Academic flirts.
Whatever. Does he take me straight to like the top floor into
He
his
does.
observatory?
Yes, he does.
Do we pass through a lab on the way, or what is?
Yes.
What is this all like?
It seems like the first floor, not the ground floor, but the first, the second floor, is a bedroom of sorts. The door was cracked open, and you could just barely see a bed back in there. The second floor is a laboratory slash library slash study, and this third floor is just an observatory. There are some workbenches and some notes strewn about, various paperweights weighing things down, a couple of books, some notes scrawled hastily on sections. You notice there's like chalk markings on the windows and a fairly large, well, I mean, it's small, but it's a small telescope by modern standards, but by ancient standards, it must have been quite large. Maybe, was this a foot in diameter for the opening?
Nice.
Foot and a half?
Is that better than anything that I've worked with
It
in the
is.
past? Or- Okay. An impressive telescope, I say. This lens must be more than a foot in diameter. How did you grind the glass? I think I'm probably inspecting the instrument before I take a look inside.
Gnomes on Paradise Island. Pain to work with, but they do produce quality.
I respond with like a gnomish adage. Yes, I speak gnomish.
So just so you know,
That's
because this is something that's recently changed, gnomes no longer speak without stopping, a la Dragonlance style. That has been replaced with rhyming. Gnomes rhyme everything they say. I needed to find a way to make gnomes really annoying, and so gnomes just consistently rhyme.
That's going to be really hard for you to roleplay.
Yes, but if you want to speak in Gnomish for whatever reason, just remember your rhymes. And it's hard. I botched it pretty bad, and Rob made fun of me.
Yeah, I was going to come up with a gnomish adage for dealing with annoying people, but I can't rhyme. Ain't no rappa.
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
So we look through his telescope, talk stars.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm not sure if there's anything important to gain. Maybe but
Is there anything that
using
you'd like to bring up or ask him? Because you have a few hours with him, and things can crop up in conversation. It doesn't have to be a blunt question.
I'll bring up I would like to ask about the starship. I'll say I heard that there's a floating starship supported by zeppelins that
Yes, indeed.
has been spotted over these plains.
The
this
Council of
true?
Wizards, they do like their airship. They keep it heavily defended with enchanted ballistas to keep pesky would-be opponents at bay. Not to mention, it's quite difficult to get there, so the wizards who are there are not to be trifled with. Many would think that a citadel supported by a bag of air would be easy to destroy, but it is staying up there for a few hundred years now.
Who would try to destroy a citadel full of wizards?
Oh,
Seems like a fool's
rogue,
errand.
angry men, assassins, jealous kings, red dragons.
Dragons.
Yes, we have more than our fair share of monstrosities here. Mistrea itself is ruled by a dragon, they say. Well,
Estrella.
Mistrea is a kingdom to the west, across the Great Canal. I wouldn't go there if I were you.
Oh. Do you know where the last time the Council of Wizards was spotted?
I
Or where it can be
do.
seen?
I have my. I know the last time I've spotted it with my telescope.
You can see it with the telescope?
If you know where to
Yes.
point it.
Is it visible now?
No. No, no, no. But that information stays with me. You must find it and get there on your own if you wish to unlock their secrets. That is the test that we have here. None of that silly other testing that people do back in Solemn. This here is a true test of a wizard. If you can find it, you have earned it, regardless of your dedication to the craft or years of study. It is based on merit and merit alone.
Are there
Not
tests of
politics.
wizardry in Solemn?
Yes, there are.
Have I passed them, or would you do
No,
those
you
later?
would be third level. Yeah, you're usually between third and fifth level when you go for tests.
Well then. Do you perhaps have any suggestions for a young wizard looking to make his way?
Well, let me ask you
Sights
this.
that must be seen. or
Why do
listened
you study magic?
to unlock the secrets of the universe? Delve into the mysteries of space and time. Is that not the only reason to study magic?
It is a good reason. Some might say the best reason to study. But if that is the case, you may be more disappointed by what you find than pleased. People come together in large groups tends to create rigid thinking. Fools up in the Citadel all think alike and act alike. Only the
It's the
true
same.
craft and exploration of wizardry can be accomplished alone with one's thoughts, where you are not inundated with the same advice over and over. A real wizard finds his own path rather than being taught by others.
I think it is much the same across the sea. In the towers, stale men grow staler, exchanging the same ideas. Not that they are not great thinkers, great minds, wielding great power, but there's a reason I'm over here.
Are you moving in?
I tilt my head. Move.
Storybrook, Shirebrook, are you planning on
no,
making this
no.
your new home?
No, just traveling through. Here for the week while my man heals up. We had a pretty nasty encounter with a whole manner of frightful creatures in the woods.
Yes,
Lizard
they do
men,
do that to you.
sturges, gremlins. magical abominations running wild.
Pesky creatures.
I nod.
Well, where are you off to? Perhaps I can...
Clayton, and why are you a wizard? Because I rolled an 18.
Well, good luck on your travels. I
Do
am
you
very
mind if I
busy and have many other things to attend to tonight.
Do you mind if I spend a moment gazing through your telescope? I don't know that I will ever have an opportunity to look in an instrument such as this.
Yes, yes. Let yourself out when you're done. And he heads down to the third floor to hang out in his laboratory.
I think I would like to roll an astrology proficiency on this.
Ooh, what a
quest.
perfect time to do an astrology proficiency. I will even give you a +1 to your proficiency check for your use of the telescope.
So before I roll, do I need to? Knowing the date and time of a person's birth, blah blah blah. So I guess I'll be using my own birth date, predicting my own future. Next 30 days, knowledge is vague at best. I can foresee some general event, a great battle, a friend lost, a new friendship made. The DM decides the exact prediction. I think I'm curious about this airship, but Alumbra's also in the sky, and I probably got a nice view of that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm scoping out the stars. Do you want me to roll? If I roll
I will roll it in secret.
one. Okay. So
What is
my
the score it's
base
based off of?
int. So plus 18.
And +1 for the
And an
telescope.
additional plus 1. So d20 plus 19.
Okay. So unlikely to fail. Right?
I'd have a 5% chance to fail. So either I learn something or I get a wildly inaccurate prediction.
Yeah. So you're just trying to read your own future with regards to the airship, or
I think so. I don't know if I'm allowed to ask that specific question,
Okay.
but if I am, yeah, sort of like what awaits me in the airship, or maybe if I can get some sort of indication of where it is. Maybe I don't know if there's any way, looking at the stars, if I could figure out where it would likely to be or get any insight in that direction. Probably not. Or maybe I catch something else interesting in the stars.
you do catch
Or-
something interesting in the stars.
We're about time for our break, so I don't know if you want to think on this for a minute or two and tell me when you get
Sure,
back.
you know,
or-
I have my answer, but why don't we just do it when we come back, and maybe I can find a more clever way of wording it. So
Maybe-
we'll see you
maybe you
guys.
can rhyme it in Amish.
Don't get your hopes up, guys. See you in a few minutes. Bye bye.